and let us all do we can to build a better future.
Boy's out. The high heel cowboy is out. PBD, you did him dirty. Hell, Vermin Supreme and Keaton, you two tag team went dirty on him, talking about his boots, how he can't really reach up. Well, he couldn't reach up against the Donald Trump. I want to pull up this video tweet here. Shout out to good friend of the show, Angel Rivera. Please help him out. His Twitter account, apparently he can't reach out as much, and it's putting a limit on him. And I don't like censorship. I despise it. So, folks, if you can help out Angel Rivera, he does need the assistance. Politely retweet so that his channel or his Twitter account can be, fully active the way it should be. But apparently, Ron DeSanctimonious, the high heel cowboy, I put that in there, bent the knee and endorsed Donald Trump for his re-election bid. The only one left is Nikki. That's not her name, Haley. I suspect she'll bend the knee after the New Hampshire primary. No way she sticks around to lose her home state, which probably will happen. So let's hear it. But first of all, look at this face. For those Game of Thrones fans, y'all remember that scene. Tell me your name. Tell me your name. It's Reek.
Greetings from Florida. The warmth of being home is a reminder why I've chosen public service. From joining the United States Navy and serving in Iraq to representing the people in the U.S. Congress, and now serving as governor of Florida. And it reminds me why I decided to run for president.
Because I'm a complete idiot and I thought I could take on Donald Trump. But instead of getting slapped around, being embarrassed on podcasts and interviews, I had to drop out because of the mean things Vermin Supreme said to me.
To fight for those who've been forgotten in this country. This is America's time for choosing. We can choose to allow a border invasion, or we can choose to stop it. We can choose reckless borrowing and spending, or we can choose to limit government and lower inflation. We can choose political indoctrination.
What you're going to be witnessing here is a word salad because he wants to come off strong, right? He still wants to seem tough, but at the 2-minute mark is when he says, I'm going to support Trump. We're only witnessing this because this guy is lying through his teeth right here. And we're seeing a man try and defend a decision that he should not have made. The worst decision he made was thinking that he could take on Trump. Trump's a professional showman. Whatever you think about him, Trump kept his political organization together. Trump built MAGA, all right? He built the Make America Great Again. That was his thing. And the people surrounded it. That's Politics 101. This guy tried to be an upstart.
Or we can choose classical education. These choices are symptoms of the underlying struggle to ensure that constitutional government can endure and that Western civilization can survive. And we launched this campaign to bring accountability to government, regain sovereignty at our border, and restore sanity to our society. We cannot succeed as a country if we allow our nation to be invaded, our currency to be debased, our cities to crumble, and our kids to be indoctrinated. The DC elites who facilitated this mess do not care about you, and they do not work for you. They work for themselves. They seek to accumulate power at your expense to pursue an agenda that is harmful to the American people. Citizens do not serve politicians. It is the duty of politicians to serve you. Talk is cheap. Actions speak louder than words.
But you're doing that. You're wasting our time. So let's
many months, Casey and I have traveled across the country to deliver a message of hope that decline is a choice and that we can, in fact, succeed again as a nation. Nobody worked harder, and we left it all out on the field. Now, following our second place finish in Iowa, we've prayed and deliberated on the way forward. If there was anything I could do to produce a favorable outcome, more campaign stops, more interviews, I would do it. But I can't ask our supporters to volunteer their time and donate their resources if we don't have a clear path to victory. Accordingly, I am today suspending my campaign.
Finally got to it. All you had to do, start off right there. Accordingly, right there. At the 2-minute, 30-second mark there. That's all you had to say. Accordingly, I'm suspending my campaign and endorsing Trump. Instead, you do all this stuff, right? That's your foreplay? That's terrible, buddy.
I'm proud to have delivered on 100% of my promises, and I will not stop now. It's clear to me that a majority of Republican primary voters want to give Donald Trump another chance. They watch his presidency get stymied by relentless resistance, and they see Democrats using lawfare this day to attack him. Well, I've had disagreements with Donald Trump, such as on the coronavirus pandemic and his elevation of Anthony Fauci. Trump is superior to the current incumbent, Joe Biden. That is clear. I signed a pledge to support the Republican nominee, and I will honor that pledge.
Which I think was stupid. That pledge is dumb. It's very akin to the Democratic Party and how they handle with their candidates. And in regards to hearing about Ron DeSantis dropping out, Trump, of course, had to bring this in. Let's go ahead and pull this video up. Now, unlike the DeSantis video, which is, I'm not going to play the full thing in its entirety. After all, you got to the big basic point. Word salad, wasting your time. Effectively, I'm ending my campaign and endorsing Trump. So all those mean things that he said about Donald Trump on the campaign trail, well, I guess he's got to take it back. Now, in regards to who Trump will pick as his VP, I don't think it's going to be DeSantis or even Nikki Haley. It's going to be somebody else altogether. But it doesn't matter who's vice president because Trump's going to be running the show. This isn't the Cheney-Bush Jr. administration. I mean, Bush Jr. Cheney administration.
Okay. He just said, will I be using the name Ron DeSantis? I said, that name is officially retired.
Now, I do have an article here from RT just to trigger the vote blue no matter who people, because I just love pulling this video up here. But Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, the high heel cowboy. Oh, yeah. But shut down his campaign for the Republican presidential nomination on Sunday, endorsing the party's front runner, which is a foregone conclusion, former U.S. President Donald Trump, just 2 days before the New Hampshire votes in the country's second primary. DeSantis announced his exit from the race, posted on X, formerly known as Twitter. Accompanying the footage was a quote from former UK Prime Minister Winston Churchill that left the door open to another run. This is how you know he's pathetic. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Buddy, listen, you ran a weak campaign. You thought you could take on Donald Trump. You lost. All that stuff. You wasted people's time. That's why Trump didn't attend the debates, because it's a waste of time. All of you playing by the rules was a waste of time. And I've covered on the show what Republican voters wanted. They wanted Donald Trump. This is not open for a debate. And when I had Keaton on the show just an hour ago, all of the Republican voters who are supporting Trump said the same thing. Nothing's going to happen to Trump. They're going to vote for him anyways. He has their support. He has their love. He has their respect. So none of these other candidates, Vivek, Chris Christie, Nikki, Ron, none of them have it because they're atypical politicians. And the thing is, the Trump presidency resonated with Trump supporters. Simple as that. This isn't open for a conclusion. Like, and I occasionally I get messages, well, gee, aren't you afraid if Trump gets the nomination? Like, no, I have no reason to be afraid, and neither do any of you watching. So if you're not a Republican voter, if you're an independent, progressive, whatever, guess what? We are politically homeless. We have no representation in the Democratic Party. As for the independent third parties, that's up to you how you want to vote. I'm going to probably vote independent, and this might be the last election I'm going to participate in because I'm disappointed in third parties. I'm disappointed in overall just how the Democratic Party has been a complete epic failure. And so we do have to look at mutual aids. We do have to look at citizen ballot initiatives. We do have to look at other alternatives because electoral politics is correctly being proven as a waste of time. And if we get Biden versus, most likely we are, apologies for that, Biden versus Trump, it's two old men fighting over a cold bowl of soup. Acknowledging that there was no clear path to victory following a second-place finish in Iowa, where he lost to Trump by 30 points, DeSantis reasoned that Trump was a better choice for commander-in-chief than the incumbent President Joe 30330 Biden, or the next Republican runner-up, former South Carolina Governor Nikki, that's not her name, Haley. So going forward from here, obviously, I think the big question is, Trump has not revealed his choice of a running mate for 2024, and some ex-users speculate that DeSantis was angling for the job by minimizing his differences with the reality TV star turned politician while attacking his strongest Republican competitor, Haley, whose platform he described as warmed over corporatism. You're both the same. The Republican frontrunner's eldest son, Donald Trump Jr., had put DeSantis, along with former Fox News host Tucker Carlson and one-time Republican candidate Ben Carson, forward as potential vice presidential picks last week. The elder Trump did not explicitly rule out the possibility when asked about it last year. In regards to these three, Tucker Carlson would be an interesting pick. Do I think that he would do it? I would advise against it. My only reason is who has more power? A media platform in which you get millions upon millions, dare I say it, hundreds of millions of people viewing your content, and you have a voice to challenge the system, or become part of the system and you lose your media platform. I'm going to go with the media platform, but perhaps, who knows? We'll see what happens as this Republican primary plays out. But I am going to make this promise. If it continues on, even in March, which I'm having doubts now, because who else is in the Republican primary race that's even engaging? I mean, Nikki Haley. I mean, sooner or later, you got to read the room that you're going to lose. If it goes on to March, or if there's any campaign events by any of the candidates coming here in Chicago or in Illinois, Hard Lens Media, we will do everything we can in our power to cover said events and interview people on the ground. So that way we can at least hear from people and their different points of view and perspectives, so that show can get up there and we can, share our content with all of you, our viewing audience. At the end of the day, tomorrow, what will happen? This is my prediction. And if I'm wrong, I will apologize on air. But tomorrow, Donald Trump will win the New Hampshire primary. So Wednesday, we'll get the full answer, but I'm predicting that tomorrow, Donald Trump will have a magnificent win in New Hampshire, and it will be a death blow to the Republican establishment in regards to everyone that they threw at him. It's not going to matter. The people choose what they want. And liberals, listen, I'm just going to trigger you one last time. The Republican primary is more Democratic than the Democratic primary. Democrats don't have superdelegates. Republican primary doesn't have superdelegates. It's the people who pick what they want, and Republican voters want Donald Trump. They don't want that pragmatic liberal. They don't want that pragmatic Democrat. If they wanted that, they would vote Democrat.